I'm Helen. I run Create Art School and I help people relax, unwind, unleash their creativity and make beautiful art. And in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to create some beautiful pen and ink watercolour snowdrops where we look more at the background than we do at the foreground. It's all about, bringing out the white of the snowdrops with how you use your colour in your background. So I hope you really enjoy the tutorial and I'll see you on the other side. So I'm going to draw some snowdrops using pen and watercolour. So my snowdrops, I'm going to start with the flower heads because they're kind of most important thing really. So they've got beautiful little pointy leaves, they're almost like little bells hanging down, very graceful, like the glimpse of spring. And they've got these little hats on them. And they've got these really nice stalks, they're kind of a little bit attached and then they go into a little point up like that. And they come down, they come up from the ground, so they sort of hang down, so they're like little lanterns almost. You could do the little feel of another couple of petals behind as well. Let's pop another one over here. So I'm going to start with a little hanger to start with, a little bell. So little pointy petals coming down and then around the sides. What's nice about this one, it's more about what you leave out than what you put in. So we're going to leave the main colour of the snowdrop is going to be obviously white. We're going to leave that out. So rather than painting everything in, we just leave the white off because there's no white watercolour. We sometimes get white watercolour in kits, but it's not, it doesn't really have an impact. Let's have a closed little one here. So these pens give you a delicacy that you can really create beautiful fine lines with these. And also the harder you press with these pens, the more ink comes out of them because they're made of two parts and one part on one side, one part on the other side, and the ink is sort of in between. And then when you press down on the paper, the ink comes out. And depends on the hardness that you press as to how much ink will flow out of your pen. Okay, let's just have another little one down here. Okay, another little. So I'm all for exploring line with my pen. Not every line is going to be kind of part of the shape. Some of them form part of the background. And some of them form part of the fact that maybe there's a kind of something else, some more foliage and things in the background behind here. So let's just pop that little bit on there. I love these little bits that join them together. And then let's get all these stalks kind of coming down here into a central point. And then we're going to pop a few leaves on. So we're kind of creating this bunchy feel to these snowdrops here. Okay. And you can go more with your pen here in the middle and kind of create darker lines, darker sections. There we go. Lovely. Right, so I'm just going to put my pen there and just get the watercolour out. So as I said, this is more about what's behind than in front. So we want to kind of create the sense of the snowdrops having these lovely white bells on them. So I'm just using the green watercolour. And I'm going to just fairly carefully anyway, paint around the edges of my snowdrops because I want them to look like the main sort of focus. I've got a little bit of smudging from my ink, but that's the joy of doing pen and ink. You get a bit of extra oomph to your shading with them. So I'm just kind of picking my way quite carefully around the edge here with the green, and then taking it a little bit up here. Just careful to kind of keep your brush nice and clean, because you don't want to transfer, if you don't want the ink anywhere else, you don't want to kind of transfer it anywhere else. Let's just get a few of these stalks painted in a bit. And the little tops. Again, we don't need to paint it like a wall. It's not a wall, it's just a bit of snowdrop. So don't try and do too much to it. You know, let some bits be standalone. I'm going to also put a little bit of a background on this one, just so I just want to create the sense of drama with the snowdrops being the main thing. So I'm just using a bit of blue, and I'm going to go round the edges a little bit carefully around here of my snowdrops, just trying to make them come out of the paper a little bit more than they are at the moment. So using this colour, I'm just bringing them forward and using the background as a device to do that with. So just kind of round the edges. So look at those, they're coming out of the paper really well now. Just coming round. Again, backgrounds you don't have to block in, you can just do quite sort of soft edges and they look really effective. Okay, so, and I'm just also going to just do a little bit of something at the front here, just to make the snowdrops look like they're sort of sitting on the ground, or, you know, coming out of somewhere. Just a little bit of a background. I might just pop a little bit more ink in here. So this is the nice thing, when the watercolour's wet, you can add more ink into it, and it spreads and gives you a bit of tone, which is lovely. So that's my pen and ink and watercolour snowdrops. Thanks for watching my snowdrop tutorial. Hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, click me a like below and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. And please subscribe and you'll never miss another one of my tutorials again.